You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the September 26th meeting of the LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau Board of Managers. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Welcome to the September 26, 2023 meeting of the Board of Managers. We're going to open the meeting with roll call.
Becky Greenlaw.
Here.
Pat Harris.
Here.
Vernon Meyer. Here. Stacy Benning.
Here.
Mark McCain. Here. Adam Heshey.
Here.
Laura Prince.
Here.
Mike Sykes.
Here.
Doug Waters.
Here.
That's 100% attendance. We have a quorum. Thank you all for attending. Do we have any public comments at this time? If not, we'll move right into the approval of our minutes for August 22nd, 2023.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mike Sykes and a second by Doug Waters. Any questions? Answers? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I just wanted to bring you all up to date. I mentioned previous in one of our other meetings that we're having the NAACP State Conference in the LaPorte County branch this year. And it's actually going to be held out at Westville at P&W. And we're really looking forward to having all the representatives and delegates from around the state to come here and visit our wonderful county. And the Tourism Bureau here is definitely participating in a big way. And I just want to thank Linda and Jack for offering the services of the Bureau to this event, because it is a visitor attraction type of thing, and I think it's great to have those groups that haven't been exposed to the services that we provide have an opportunity to utilize them. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to all the great things that are going to happen at that convention. It is November 2nd through the 5th, and as I said, it will be held at P&W, and information will be out. It'll be publicized greatly. We're really gearing up here now this last month and a half to promote the event, to just let the community know what's going on. A lot of the events are just for the delegates, but there are some public events. So we're hoping everyone will be able to participate in that. The NAACP local branch has their fundraiser, which is the Soul Food Dinner. And you don't want to miss that.
Where's that going to be?
That's going to be over here at St. John's, and I think that's on Friday night.
Oh,
So the schedule of all the activities and times and stuff, that'll be coming out. So make sure you go out and get a dinner at your local chapter. And that's all I have to report. We'll move right down into the treasurer's report.
Okay, for August, total accounts payable of $347, $347,586.04. Total payroll, $82,043.22, for a grand total of $429,629.26.
Motion to approve the claims as written.
Second. Okay, we have a motion by Doug Waters and a second by Stacy Benning to approve the financials as reported.
And I will pass this around for signatures as well.
Okay. Do we have any other comments? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. That brings us to you, Jack.
Okay.
What's going on, Jack?
Oh, geez, it's a lot going on always. So Pat mentioned services provided when she was talking about the group that her and Linda just bringing in November. I thought it'd probably be smart, just kind of a last minute, it hit me when she said it, to update you all on what we do for these type of groups. And it starts in usually a bidding process or some type of procurement process where groups are looking to come in here, whether it goes through Blue Chip or us. And you know, the line item that you all approved, that we call it the subsidy line item for Blue Chip, that, and many times, we take money out of that line item to subsidize the room rates for the group, so we can get them if we're in a competitive bid process, or if their budget is such that they can't meet the room night cost of Blue Chip, which happens a lot, especially during weekends and Notre Dame games and stuff like that. So just a reminder that that's a big part of that. The other services we provide not only there, but when I say there, to groups that come in. It doesn't have to be Blue Chip at all either. This group here is not staying at Blue Chip, they're staying at different property, but we'll be helping move them around. You know, we've got a 15-passenger van, we've got the most recent vehicle that we purchased. Those are what those are for, is moving folks around. Not only staff utilize them when we're going to meetings and stuff, but we use them a lot for that. We're starting to do a lot more of the bands at the Civic. We're helping with that. We've always done the fair entertainment, move them around. We've done some entertainment moving around for Lake Fest and LaPorte, and we'll continue. So all those things are kind of things that we take for granted, you know, that we do. And I just want to remind you all that those are some of the service. We also, I usually set up some type of a welcome situation for groups that are coming in. Either I'll go speak to them, or I'll get one of the elected officials to go speak to them if that's appropriate. Linda, Chelsea, front desk, Dale works on getting welcome bags, anything like that we put together that may be applicable just to that group, or maybe just a standard welcome bag that we use. All of that is part of what we do to these groups, and it just kind of hit me when Pat was mentioning that. I thought I'd just kind of go over that with you all, so you just kind of refresh you on what we do. We've completed our audit, the audit for this year, which reflects on a year ago. And once again, we went through with flying colors. You'll get the official update next month, I believe is on his schedule, Jason's schedule, to come and do the report. And then I think you'll all recall that the process is once that's approved by the board, then it goes to the State Board of Accounts for final approval, pretty much a rubber stamp, because Applegate is one of the firms that's approved by the State Board of Accounts, and they're one of the few that we could actually bring in and pay to do that. So there was no reason for any side meetings, there was no follow-up. Usually sometime if there would be, we would get with the treasurer or get with the board president or somebody and say, look, we had a little something there, but we haven't had any again for a long, long time. So that's a credit to Gail. I hope you all noticed the new carpet. And Gail, that's her deal. She pulled that all together. She picked the design. I think she did a great job. I mean, we're really happy. And it's 2/3 done. She did the part you see here, the high traffic areas. We've still got to do the individual offices. We did it in 2 parts, as you recall also, so we could stay within guidelines as far as the way the money was spent too. So it worked out really great. So yeah, great job with the carpet. Last Tuesday, we hosted the 5 counties across the toll road corridor here. Great meeting, a lot of good interaction. I know a couple of the board members were able to make it on their schedule, which was great. I think it's just nice hearing from the other counties and what they're doing and how the overflow of everything, nothing is stagnant or centric to one county. Okay, you can have the dunes sitting over there in Porter County, but we get so much overflow from that, or Notre Dame football, just the other way. And it was interesting, they were talking Ohio State week, and we were talking about the room rates were out the roof, unbelievable. Just crazy. Which our cash register goes great when that happens, which is really neat. But yeah, it's the demand side of things during Notre Dame games is a huge deal for the whole region. And my counterpart from St. Joe County got up and talked about that quite a bit. It was pretty good information. We let the other counties do most of the talk, and they usually follow us in everything they do anyway. A couple of the board members were sitting there at the table, and the other counties were talking about some things they were doing. I'm just sitting there smiling, and we started that 2 years ago, so we're a little bit ahead of that. Yeah.
We were very aware of what was going on in the region and what we had been doing.
Yeah, it was a good meeting. No, I'm starting sending some communications out soon on the budget. I don't anticipate. Things have been pretty. Last 2 or 3 years, we haven't had a lot of change in the budget. The income's not changed a lot, so there probably won't be a lot of big changes. But it's certainly open to anything. The board wants to. I would suggest maybe just looking over the current budget and seeing if there's anything that you would like to add, subtract, or think to with regard to any line item, because I don't think we're going to get too far off that the budget we're on now. Or on that note, visitors assessment seems to be down a little, but I can't tell for sure. And the reason we can't is we've got several properties that are behind, and their properties are going to pay. We know who they are, and they're going to pay, but it's got us at a point we can't really tell exactly where we're at, to be honest with you. As far as being equal to last year, that's all I'm talking about. We're still way above the benchmark, but as you know, the last 5 years in a row, our visitors assessment, formerly called the innkeeper's tax, has been up significantly, every year. I'm going to guess that we'll probably flatline this year. I don't think we'll be up much. That's kind of my projection, but it's hard to tell. It really is. Amy's she's tried everything to try to come up with, all-seeing glasses that will give her an answer, and she can't, because we just can't figure this one out this time. I think we'll know a little more in a few days. Right, Abe? We should see if a couple big ones get caught up. If not, we're going to go talk to them. We've prepared some letters that would go out that if anybody starts getting too far behind, it gets to be a problem.
Jack, do you know if any of the other counties are experiencing sort of the same thing?
Okay, good question. And that's another one we can't really get our hands on. Linda brought it up at the state meeting, just in a kind of a casual way, and kind of just folks sitting around table at lunch, and it seemed to me there was 1 or 2 counties that were there are national reporting agencies that can give you some really good information. The Star Report. The problem is your gaming companies do not supply information to that. So Boyd Gaming does not send any information to the Star Report, which would be an indicator to us because that's a fourth of our rooms right there. So we don't even subscribe. I don't even pay the $2,000 or $3,000 for the report because it's worthless. I mean, it doesn't do us any good. Jeff, the South Bend director, brought over the Star Report. He gives me his. He brought it over last week to share. And as we were looking at it, it looks like maybe Indiana might be down just a little. But there again, you look at the region here, there's 5 gaming licenses right across here. Okay, you got the one in the Indian group in St. Joe, and then us, and then the 3 over there. And if they don't report, then it throws the whole thing off. And so I don't want to put a lot of credit into those numbers.
Okay.
I think we're just best wait until it works itself out. But I feel really good about putting out a budget. We're not far off at all, and the budget's just a projection anyway. We're just really. I use this term every year. I know you're probably tired of hearing it, but it's a crapshoot. You're just hoping you can meet last year's numbers. I mean, it's just the way but it's okay. It's manageable. We work fine under those conditions. So anyway, that's a little budget talk for today. Let's see. Any questions on any of that or anything? Okay, good. And I'll start getting out, especially any significant something that would pop up. But as you know, you've dealt with the two, what I would call high dollar items that we had to do, which was the vehicle that came up last minute and the carpeting. And I would guess, Pat, that if something like that comes up again, I'd have to talk with Laura, but I'd like to use that same process of going through a special assessment. That worked really good because it didn't have to be in the budget, and the money all comes out of the same pot as long as the board approves it. So we may go that route more if something comes up.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. I don't.
Yeah, whether Laura,
If Laura has anything different.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
yeah. So, okay, but right now I don't have anything that would come under that category anyway, that we know of. Services. So, having said that, I'll move on to a few updates to give you today. Linda's next on Director of Marketing.
Thank you, Jack, and I've had a lot going on since the last board meeting, one of which Jack mentioned the ITA meeting this month, which was held in South Bend Visit. South Bend, Mishawaka hosted us, and we had our membership meeting at the National Studebaker Museum. So Dale and I drove over. We did use the new Tahoe, quite an animal, and but Dale mastered it perfectly. And there were a lot of things, everybody's preparing for 2024 and looking at budgets and so on. And just like Jack mentioned, kind of underhandedly just asked some questions as far as, what are your hotels looking like and so on, and all of that. Couple other things that we have, I mentioned a while back, we are working on our strategic plan for ITA, and one of those breakdown areas is influence. And there's a couple of us, including myself, that are on that committee. And what we've done is set up a meeting. Our November meeting is going to be at the Indianapolis Zoo. And after that meeting, the Influence Committee is going to have a meeting with Elaine Beadle at IDDC. One of those things, Elaine, since she's come on board in Indiana brand, is to see how the Indiana logo and so on can have a bigger stance on the ITA communications website and so on. And so we decided, because we're part of that group, we would like to have a conversation as well, just to say, okay, this is what you want us to do, but what are you going to do for us, kind of pay to play. So looking forward to that, and I think there'll be some positive things coming out with that, but just wanted to, it keeps coming up, well, ITA needs to do this, ITA, so we just said, let's all sit around the table and discuss what we can do together and make a positive impact on everything else that we do. One of the other things that they did do at this meeting was ITA has different roundtable groups and studies. So every year they have a visitor guide study group, right, Jack? And I was impressed. Dale was there, but some of what came out of, it was probably 5 or 6 counties actually turned in their visitor guides. And then this panel out of the Midwest that ITA has hired gives input. And so they were able to throw just some of the input back. And I was amazed. Now, a couple of them have never done this. We haven't. And this is something probably that's just started in the last 4 years. But thought it was valuable. It's not cheap, but it was valuable because, we do our guide every year. We tweak here and there. But I thought it would be awesome if we have the money in the budget that we can afford this, because I was impressed. I'm sure Dale was sitting there as well, but a lot of good information. And a lot of it you heard, we're right on track. But seeing that all the years we've done a visitor guide, we've never had this study, I just thought it would be great to offer that to LaPorte County and see how what kind of feedback we get as well. We know we're great with the Great Lakes Grand Prix, and we get the award-winning recognition at the ITA conference, but this was something that's been out there for several years, and this one was really impressive just because of some of the input that came out of that. So I've just thrown that up at Jack. This time of the year, obviously, visitor guide sales, Herald Dispatch is out doing the sales for the visitor guide. This year is Julie Wozniak's last year working. She's retiring. And so I'm in the process of I have a couple meetings set up for some new perspectives to take a look at what we do and how we do it and if they're able to do it. And I've already, Jack's well aware, so hopefully by the end of October, we would have slimmed it down, got some pricing, because if anything changes, I do have to get those numbers to Jack.
So just a clarification, we're talking about design work.
Yeah, design, yeah, we do, yeah.
We don't have any money budgeted for the visitor's guide. That's
right.
not us, that's the new dispatch.
Right. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that we'll have someone new on board next year doing, a new guide. But just want to thank Julie. She's done this with us for forever and has done an excellent job. And she's at a point in her life that she wants to relax. She has a grandchild on the way and so on. So we wish her the best. So looking forward to finishing up some of the things that we'll be doing for the 2024 guide. We're also last week or week before last, everything is going so fast. You saw all the big excitement about the solar project south on the lake on the You Are Beautiful property. So they had a great turnout for that from the state all the way down. And it's going to be a huge property opportunity, 2 hotels. I had a chance to meet the other hotel owner. CBB, the tourism, was recognized because we've had to submit information to them, and so it felt good to be able to just have Don Babcock was the master of ceremony. So as he mentioned, all the different people that were sitting there, tourism was mentioned, so it felt good to be recognized. And obviously we are a huge trial. That project probably won't be complete till 2026, probably looking at breaking ground March of next year. So it's a long ways off, but it's also a huge project. So just looking forward to everything that's going on with that. And then economic development wise, limited to what you can really say, but we do have executive committee this morning and just a lot of things going on. You've heard about some of the other developments that are going on here in Michigan City. There's some concerns from some of the people that saw the solar press that, this is too expensive, but there are other developments going on. 8th and the Boulevard, things should break ground next year, and a couple others that are more affordable. So it's new, it'll be fresh, and I think it's going to add a lot of excitement. And then just the double track, which will just take off once we get that done. Just to mention, I heard on Chicago News the other night that infrastructure with downtown, with all the big buildings and the condominiums and so on, needs a major overhaul. So I always think, those people could just leave, take the train, live here, and then just go back and forth. So, but there's, like I said, a lot going on. I was here, Mayor Tom on the radio talking about the city of LaPorte, but we've got a lot of things going on, but this time of the year is busy for us because of the visitor guide sales, and so far sales are going really good. Chelsea has been getting the contracts because she inputs everything, so even with twins, she's been taking care of her side of the business in between naps and everything else, so really appreciate that. But it's just a busy time for us, and so other than that, we'll just see you next month.
Okay, thanks, Linda, appreciate that.
If I could add to Linda's report, she talked about the importance of new development and economic development. I'd just like to indicate to the board that it's also important that we support expansion of existing businesses that are here in the county. New development is fine, but you also have to keep your existing businesses up and running and providing opportunities for them to expand and grow, add new employees, and et cetera, et cetera. So I'd just like to add that.
Thank you, Mike. Aim, you got anything to add on the heads and beds?
Well, just as you mentioned earlier, we are gonna meet with Nick Patel, the owner of Pine Lake Resort in Bigwoods this afternoon. He's gonna give us some updates on the restaurant, those kind of things, and then also a tour. So we're looking forward to that. Jack and Rick just finalized Pop Warner's coming back, so we're gonna get 3 weekends in November, so that'll be great for the off season as far as hotel stays and that kind of thing. Blue Chip announced at a meeting last week that they have a lot of updates going on. We're really excited about that. They're gonna update the rooms in Spa Blue Tower. The deli will be updated. They're adding additional dining options. A lot of exciting things really happen there. So looking forward to that. And then we're gonna be visiting hotels, again, like all the hotels in our rotation the next couple weeks.
Good, thanks, Amy. Yeah, that's, as Amy pointed out there, she mentioned Rick and I are working on one of the youth sports host hotel. We have a real challenge finding a hotel to meet the kind of needs that these groups need, to want and ask for, like this Pop Warner group, for example. With Blue Chip really can't handle them on weekends, Notre Dame games, and that's not their niche, is bringing kids in and youth sports type events. They do the college, all Notre Dame opponents, but that's about as low as they go as far as going into family type stuff. So we're challenged big time to try to find. Rick had Katie and Amy and I and Rick, we worked really hard trying to even come up with a host hotel for this group that's coming in for 4 weeks. And by the way, Rick, I think it's fell under the radar screen. The cheerleading portion of that contract with Pop Warner, their big event in LaPorte County is next. It's the 8th. So, yeah, so let's follow up on that as far as making room blocks. That's going to be a big one. Okay, because sometimes the cheer part of it, because it's only 1 week, we don't get all the cheer in our contract for them. They take some of it to Chicago or Detroit, but we do get the one group in October, and that's back at the Civic. Okay, so we want to make sure we make note of that. But anyway, kind of lost my train. I was following up on Amy. Yeah, so their meeting today over at the Pine Lake Resort is a big deal. We need that property to get back to what it was, big time. So it's an option for us to use, because we're really, Microtel is going to be our host hotel, but they don't have food, they don't have a bar, they don't have a meeting space. They're close enough. We're going to squeeze it in and make it work. But so anyway, just to let you know some of the challenges on that. So, and on that, so Aim, on heads and beds, you're done. Dale, anything on community relations you want to update? Okay, cool, thank you. Terry's not here. LaPorte's not here. Joy is here. Joy, county update?
Yeah, I just have a couple things. We are looking at trying to do a new event. I shouldn't say trying, I think we are going to do it. Memorial Day weekend, we are looking to do a mini fair at the fairgrounds. The carnival actually approached us about coming in and setting up kind of a small scale from what they do Fair Week, so we're going to build around that to have a whole weekend event. There will be much more information coming on that, but I will probably be coming to Pat and to you to maybe help just with some advertising for that, similar to how we do with the fair. So we're excited for that, something new, something to kick off the whole summer season is what we're trying to aim for. And then the other item that we are working on more for infrastructure type stuff is we are meeting next month for our first workshop to come up with a 5-10-year plan on what we think and how we should grow the grounds as far as buildings, if we're going to be building new ones, how we want the layout to look. So we're all on the same page with FMEC, the Agriculture Association and everyone else who has a part in that, so we're all on the same page and we know where we're going. We do have a lot of people who want to donate funds towards different things in the ground, which is fantastic. But I feel like we're here, we're there, we're here, we're there. We need to all be on the same page so we have a plan, so we know where to direct those funds and how it's gonna look in 5 to 10 years. So that'll be upcoming too, and I'm excited for that. So I'll report on that as we go.
Good deal. Great, thank you. So, Amy mentioned some of the updates of Blue Chip, just I'm so happy. They're gonna be, just in a few days, actually opening up the new food court. What's the name of it? I don't remember. They've got a really good, nice, catchy name for it. And that's so needed. I mean, I've got a group I'm hosting next week, and we literally we've got to leave the property to go eat. I mean, they're just trying to feed groups there has become a challenge. So when they open that up, that's going to be really good. And then they're at the same, soon as that opens, almost simultaneously, they're going to tear down the deli, right, Linda, and then rename that.
Yes.
And give it a new face.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. So that was kind of an update to come out, which is what I just threw in under my Blue Chip update. So Pat, I'm done.
All right. Great job. Did we have any information back yet from Surtech?
We do. I haven't shared with anybody. I just got it. I haven't interpreted it yet. I'll get it out.
Okay.
Just got it.
So next month, maybe?
Yeah, for sure. I'll send it out right away. Gail and I received it last night and haven't had a chance to analyze it, look at it, but clearly this year is going to be, you're talking about the boat race?
Yes.
Yeah, not annual.
No,
Not the
boat.
yeah, the boat, yeah.
Race.
Just got it back.
Well, I know some individuals have asked, how did we do because of the situation with the weather and, people not thinking it was going to happen, so some people didn't show up or didn't come.
I think it's premature for me to comment because I haven't really analyzed it all.
No, I'm not saying comment, I'm just saying I'm bringing it up because people are curious.
Yeah,
Just people are curious to know how it.
I need to go back and look at it too. I'm excited to see it too. So what I'll do, I'll send it out to you ahead of the board meeting though.
Oh, yeah.
You won't have to wait till next month.
Okay, good. All right, do we have any unfinished business? Any new business? Okay, this time I'll ask for any board comments. None? I don't even have any this month, so there you go. Just want to encourage everyone to do look at the budget, do look at the finances so that as Jack and staff are preparing the budget for this year. So we should help with that. That's one place where the board can maybe help with just an insight. They do all the technical, operational type stuff, but sometimes just a little bit of insight here and there can help them with that. So just.
I'm sorry, I do have a question.
Yes.
When the NAACP convention that's going on, is there going to be a schedule of events?
Yes.
Somewhere? Okay.
Yes, that's what I spoke of that earlier, that will be publicized shortly.
In the paper?
Yes, and it's just being fine-tuned right now,
Okay.
so that everything is I's dotted, T's crossed type of thing. So that we can get the right information out the first time.
We'll have it on our website too.
Yeah, and there's going to be several different places that will be available for the community to reach out and to see what type of public activity they can be involved in. Because that's pretty big. It's pretty impressive when you have someone, an event here, and you guys deal with it a lot, and you have people coming from all over, and so you want to just put on your best face and make sure you do a good job of being hospitable and encouraging them to come back some other time without the convention and visit our wonderful county, right? So yes, it will be publicized. Any other comments? Okay, hearing none, motion to adjourn.
And so move.
Motion and a second. Any disagreements? We're adjourned.
Thanks, everybody.
The next meeting is October 24th, and we'll see you then.
That's great.